U Tri Krizu, or by the Three Crosses, is a special place with a pagan and early Christian past, just outside of Brno, by Chudchitsa. And it's a place that we've been investigating as an area of outstanding natural beauty and lots of remote walks, trying to track the Templar and two other lines in the area. And this last week we took advantage of the longer evenings to explore one of the paths over the top of this area. The idea was to try to track the Templar line a little more and to see where the north-south line might cross it. Well, all plans are meant to be broken, and what we found and discovered was something completely different to what we'd expected, and we ended up starting at point 1, travelling along that footpath there, and ending at point 7, which is by the Three Crosses. Much of the area is enclosed to protect the deer and wildlife there, and it seemed like we soon stumbled upon the male line of the Templar alignment at point 2. And then later on at 3, 4 and 6 we found the line again and again and again. This is the first place that we found the male line. It's populated with very large oak trees, as you might expect for the Perun line. We also soon found another positive line that had a completely different azimuth and seemed to be quite different to the Perun line, and we realised it was probably the male north-south line. It too ran through an area populated with oak trees. Oak trees and positive or male lines seem to go together in this region of Czechia, it seems. We also discovered this oak struck by lightning recently. Lightning is the weapon of the god Perun, and it was no surprise to find that the Perun line passed through that area that the tree was in, and I was able to establish an accurate azimuth by tracking it also down this path that went perpendicular to the main one. In fact, we found both the Perun and Mokosh lines down that footpath there. At this point we were nearing the end of our journey where we'd previously mapped the Perun line, but to our surprise we came down this trail to get there and discovered the two lines yet again, and it was very obvious that in fact there was a vortex here and the two lines crossed. Now I have to tell you that the atmosphere here was absolutely electric, just like the church in Jindřichův Hradec. It seemed to me that my hair on the back of my neck stood on end. We both sat down in surprise and meditated for a long time, and we were stunned by the sound of bees buzzing in those small oak trees that we hadn't heard bees anywhere else in this forest, and in fact there's no flowers or anything for the bees to go pollinate. But this is obviously a very, very special place, and we spent a long time there. Listen to those bees if you can hear them on the soundtrack. I also played the solfeggio frequency there and got the same effect, and ever realised that the bee sound seemed very similar to that particular frequency. We set off back, joyfully looking at the sky behind us as we walked away, thinking what a special place we had discovered. But it was only when we got home and I mapped everything out that we realised just how special this place was. As you can see, it's quite a complex arrangement of the red and blue Templar line being crossed by the slightly darker red, paler blue north-south line, with the other east-west line passing through Moravské Knitnice to the north, with multiple crossing points in the area. A lot more mapping needs to be done in this area because these are not straight lines, they're anything but straight. And where you see long straight lines, it means that we haven't got too many data points because it passes through remote forest. But here's what struck us. U Tri Krizu by Three Crosses, and look, In that area there are 3 crosses. There's the vortex of the Templar line, and then there's the cross of the female line of the north-south line with the 2 Templar lines. So there are 3 crosses. And we also suspect that where U Tri Krizu is actually placed on the map is incorrect. It is written that this place wasn't where it is today, and we suspect we found it. It's where the vortex was. That is where the great oak that had healing properties in pagan times and the small Christian chapel was in the past. It was Eva that originally realised this, and we then realised that the place with the outside church and the well, Studenka U Tri Krizu, got its power from the crossing of the 2 negative lines, making it a potent female energy. Wonderful stuff. We know where we'll be spending summer solstice. Meanwhile, there's a lot more work to be done mapping in this area before we get further afield with the Templar line. Please do like, share and subscribe to our channel. Thank you.